Savor the moment, girl. Your next task can wait. I guess she's just saying, just relax for a moment. Gabu is wise beyond his years. It's all very well leaders signing peace treaties, but it falls to individuals to bridge the gap. Judging by the complaints my back is making, I may have overreached myself. Ah, the ravages of old age. I dare say we could all do with a rest, Alize not least of all, given the amount of ether she has been expending of late. Oh, and then little Gabu, of course. If I could befriend you all, then surely other kobolds can befriend men too. And I'll do everything I can to help them. Facilitate, assist, help. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Futures rewritten. Alphino's face is a picture. Equal parts jubilation and relief.
Right. Let's return to the Rising Stones.
Admiral, something strange is afoot at the floating city.
Breathe, man. What is it?
Oh, right.
I think it's best you see for yourself. Please, come with me.
What in the world is that? A tower?
You can see it too, then? I feared I was losing my wits. One moment I was patrolling as usual, and the next it was just there.
Yes? This is she. I am. I'm looking at it. What? Understood. Send the Elder Seedseer my regards. The communications officer. It seems this isn't the only tower. They've sprung up all across Eorzea. Nothing more is known, only that they appear to be of Garlean construction. Our allies on the Alamegan front are on highest alert. Forgive my directness, but would you join them? They may well need the help.
Of course, Admiral. We shall make all haste.
My thanks. I will return to Limsa to weigh our response. Look for Commander Hext when you arrive in Alamigo, and may the Navigator speed you on your way.
This was such a cool kind of little addition, like adding the towers throughout the world. Again, for kind of adding that living world type of feeling. Granted, they kind of did it the easy way by having it... Oh, okay. I thought it was like going into a cutscene or something. By having it like outside of, you know, the bounds that you can reach or whatever, but it's still cool. And they're still kind of noticeable enough to actually, I think, have an impact on the landscape. I think I may have forgot to set the volume level. But I've been kind of curious as to how it would sound a little bit, you know, the game sound a little bit lower anyway, so. I mean, a lot of good that is at the, you know, nearly at the end of this whole run of the story. Where are we going? But it's still cool that, I mean, we know what the towers do, but we still don't have the whole of it, you know? Like, this is the first part that I think actually starts to really play into Endwalker, which is cool. So there's a lot of stuff now that we're going to be getting kind of mysteries and stuff that we don't have answers to yet. Though it isn't visible from here, the locals report that a tower-like structure has appeared to the south. Gabu, don't worry. He's with our Maelstrom friends, meaning we're free to deal with the latest problem to fall uninvited into our laps. It appears to be business as usual inside the city, but Lise will be able to tell us if there have been any developments without.
Thank you for coming so soon. I'll send for Commander Aldin at once, and we can decide what to do about these infernal towers.
Roca preserved!
It can't be.
The palace! After them!
You're here, good.
Well, well, well! To be received by such an illustrious cast! Why, even the hero of the piece is here! I feel quite starstruck. Is that Asahi?
His body, more like. You don't fool us.
Oh! You saw straight through it! Anyone would think you dealt with Asians before.
Dealt with, killed.
Permit me to introduce myself. I am Fandaniel, and may I say what a pleasure it is to finally make your acquaintance.
What do you want? The towers. What are they for? I think just generally, like, what do you want? Like, what the hell is... What's going on here?
My, straight to business is it? Suit yourself. It is my intention to recreate the final days, to which end I have distributed a collection of rather ingenious devices, or towers, which will, in time, give rise to the grandest of spectacles.
The final days? But it was the Asians who labored to prevent them.
You're quite right, though I would expect no less from one responsible for eliminating my unsundered colleagues. Honestly, the three of them were obsessed with restoring the one true world. As a sovereign individual, however, I never had much interest in such things. I mean, why bother when you're just another sundered minion?
It's true.
Admittedly, Elidibus was not convinced by that argument. But thanks to you, I'm finally free of his incessant nagging. Free to use my powers as I see fit, to fulfill my heart's desire. And my heart's desire is to lay this half-broken world to waste, leaving nary a fleck of dust behind!
What? Why would you want such a thing?
Because I want wretched creatures who ask such meaningless questions to die! You! And you! And you! I want you all to die! And I want to die too! Oh, yes! I want to die and take everyone with me in a paroxysm of pain and suffering! I'm different, you see, from the ancients who clung to dear life, and from you. So don't bother trying to reason with me. You will find I have no reason, or creed, or any such tripe. I just want to destroy the world. But please do resist with all your might. It will add to my enjoyment. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes peeled, for the curtains have risen on the spectacle to end all spectacles. We, the Telophoroi, shall be your performers, and this very star our stage.
I remember when they cut off access up here after this, and a lot of people were unhappy with that because it's such a great area for like screenshots and stuff.
Ah, but I nearly forgot. I have a message for you. My esteemed patron, Lord Xenos, eagerly awaits you at the heart of the chaos. While I wish only to destroy the world, he exists solely to relive a certain, transcendent moment with you. And it is for that reason he would reduce all to ash. Pray see to it his dreams do not go unfulfilled. For if you should disappoint him, my trusty companion here, whom I've dubbed Lunar Bahamut, will burn your cities and everyone in them.
I know a lot of people are really upset that
Everyone out! My men will tend to the blaze.
that Lunar Bahamut turned out to just be a dungeon boss. And not a particularly difficult one at that. I don't really mind. You know, to me it's like obviously they didn't mean him to be difficult. You know? And then obviously with 5.56 and you take on a bunch of other lunar primals and they're not that difficult either. It's just meant to be the, you know, shades of the others. Not necessarily the real thing, but of other primals. What part could these towers feasibly play in the Telophoroid's plans, do you think? I, for one, am at a loss. For now, we should bear word of these developments to the others. I only hope Thancred and Urianger are safe. Though our objectives were different, I could understand why Elidibus and his fellows acted as they did. But Fandaniel? Yeah. As was just thinking, well, I'll get to it after I finish it. It will take me some time to make sense of it all. If indeed there is any sense to be found. Yeah, I was thinking, what happens to the sundered Ascians if the rejoining actually happens? Because an Ascian could potentially survive the whole thing. But then you're an unsundered in, or you're a sundered in an unsundered world. Otherwise, you would just then have to die. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Why would Fandaniel even care about the Unsundered's plans? It does, however, these are probably the two most simplistic villains we've had yet, as far as their motives. Xenos just wants to fight us again. He just wants, you know, the thrill of battle. And he hasn't found anybody till us that is any competition for him. And even then, because I always, like, I'd forgotten, and I even still kind of forget from time to time now, that we did not fight him in the Gimlet. We fought Elidibus in his body. So the last time we fought him was, you know, at the Alamegan Palace or whatever, and as Shinryu. That's the last time we fought him. Which at this point is quite a while ago. But anyway, and then Fandaniel just wants to see the world burn, you know? Like, just wants to die and to take everybody else with him. And that's it. That's very simplistic for two villains. But I think the devs have said that neither of the two are, or at least that Fandaniel is not the last boss. It'll be interesting to see what they do with those characters. Because, you know, after how great the story has been and everything, I can't see it just being that simple. There has to be more to it. And then why does Xenos... Well, Fandaniel made it seem like Xenos wanted the world to burn for our fight. But if that's the case, why? Is it maybe he wants more obstacles in our way so we get even stronger before we face him? Or what? I know he wants the two of us to, you know, feast on or whatever Heidelin and Zodiark before we fight each other. I don't know. I mean, we'll find out in Endwalker. I mean, we're finally getting into some content where it's speculation territory. Are you alright, Lavinsa? The rest of us are fine, if a little singed. That dragon let us off lightly. Honestly, though, only a madman would choose the name Lunar Bahamut, which just about sums up Fandaniel, I suppose. Our scouts report that the Ascian and his dragon have left Girabanya. It seems this was purely a social visit. Thank goodness everyone's safe. We've managed to put out the fire, though not quickly enough to save the garden. Raubon, can I leave it to you to send word to the Alliance? I'm going to take a unit and investigate the tower. We need to find out what it's for. We'll go with you. No, you won't. You'll rest. From what Merlvid tells me, you're due some time off duty. Should we learn anything of the tower, we'll be sure to share it with you. Until then, I want you to rest. Very well. But if you need our help, don't hesitate. And take care, both of you. Okay, and then back to the Rising Stones. If an Ascian is on the prowl, it will not be long before we call on you and yours again. Rest now while you still can. So you really did it. You found a cure for tempering. Oh, it makes me want to do something heroic right now. Speaking of which, I'd better get ready and set out for the tower. So yeah, I cut off the story portion of the stream last night before this because I didn't know how long this would take. But it turns out it really didn't take long at all. I maybe could have pushed it to finish this up as well, but oh well. I mean, this is kind of a nice intro into the content going forward anyway. Though my new, or rather old, by which I mean young, though this body has a good deal more stamina than the one I wore out in the first, I confess I've been looking forward to a moment's respite. We've had a busy few days, have we not? Y'shtola returned just before us, and it seems she knows about the towers too. Ah, how good it feels to come home to the Rising Stones. It's here my heart feels most at peace, and my mind the clearest. It would seem you have had quite an eventful time in my absence, but I am fully rested now and ready for more. Welcome back, Lavenza. Make yourself comfortable and let me know if I can get you anything. Is there anybody else here? I didn't even think about that. They all look to be in the same place. So typically they move, I think, if they change anything. Ah, you're back too. Good. We've received the reports from the Alliance. Since we are all here, perhaps those who bore witness to the events in Ala Mhigo could treat the rest of us to a first-hand account. No sooner do we overcome one problem than another appears. It would all seem tediously predictable, but for the endless variety of our foes. This Fandaniel sounds even more unhinged than his patron. Unhinged, perhaps, but no fool. For all his pantomime theatrics, he gave away little about his plot. We know only that he intends to recreate the final days, and that the towers will somehow facilitate this. He also called his dragon Lunar Bahamut. Let's not forget that little detail. And the creature certainly did resemble the Elder Primal. That may be, but the fact that it answered to Fandaniel would suggest they are not one and the same entity. I think it more probable that it is some manner of simulacrum born of Ascian magics. Whatever it is, for now we can but work closely with the Alliance and remain vigilant. I believe that concludes our news. What about yours, Y'shtola? I've been to see the Sultana. Knowing how quick the immortal flames are to dispose of their tempered, I judged it best to provide them with the cure first. As soon as I had sufficiently recovered, I traveled to Ul'dah and delivered the Porxies to her grace, along with detailed instructions on their use. Yet my visit chanced to coincide with the arrival of some troubling tidings. The immortal flames had been on the cusp of agreeing to a truce with the Amalja when negotiations abruptly collapsed. The Amalja claimed that a number of their kind had been abducted, and that men are responsible. Naught is known of the perpetrators as yet, but as the immortal flames went about investigating the abductions, they came upon one of Fandaniel's towers. On the subject of the towers, you may be interested to learn that they are not an exclusively Eorzean phenomenon. According to the Alliance, they have been sighted as far afield as Yanxia. It would seem responsible to assume that they are everywhere. We simply have not found them. Well, as you said yourself, we can do little for now, save remain vigilant. And since we are dealing with a dragon, ostensibly at least, I believe it would behoove us to enlist the aid of an authority on such foes. Estinian. Now just a moment. If he could be persuaded to lend us his lance, I would be the first to welcome it. But the truth is, we will struggle to even find him. You let me and Kral worry about that. We'll sniff him out, no matter where he's hiding. If indeed he is hiding, we have ways of locating him regardless. So if there are no objections, we shall depart at once. He's already made comments about how kind of persistent they are. Well, rather than sitting around, I think I might go to each of the city-states and educate them in the use of the Porxies. They would doubtless appreciate it. But might you consider taking a moment to rest before leaving? You would be fresher for the task ahead. Well, my friend, our moment of triumph did not last long. 'Twas ever the way, the world often needs saving. Oh dear, are you not enjoying our adventure? And I really could have done with a rest. I kind of like the second line. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the second one. Just, because he's all about adventuring with us. And it's like, what? You're not liking our adventure? Come now, I didn't say that. While it may not be the most carefree experience, there is nothing in this world I would rather do than write a new future with you. A long future, mind. Whatever the Telophoroi might hope, we'll stop them, won't we? Together. Oh, of course. Meanwhile, somewhere in the locks. Can't have a patch just end like that. There's got to be a cutscene.
The scouts should have been back by now. I'm gonna go and find them.
Right. I remember this. Yep, here's one right now.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Glory be. Glory be. Glory be. Glory be to Garlemald!
Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace.
The piles have been driven as planned, and the first of the beasts has roared to life. Moreover, I am pleased to report that preparations are well underway for the rest. Ere long, chaos shall reign over all the land, as befits the final days.
Call it what you will, so long as my friend returns to me, fangs bared and claws sharpened. I care not.
Of course, my lord. By strange coincidence, your dear friend chanced to be present when I made my declaration. I took the liberty of informing her that you await her coming, though I confess, I may have singed her a little in the process.
And why do you tell me this? Are you in such a hurry to die?
Ah, my apologies. I must guard my tongue lest it be the end of me. Though, there is something to be said for such a glorious death. Better to fall to one who has it all than falter before an inferior. Huh. I shall keep it in mind as a contingency. For now, however, I shall proceed with the plan. My lord.
I don't know that Xenos has a...
I must find myself a new weapon. One worthy of our long-awaited reunion.
I don't know that he has a plan just beyond fighting us. All this other stuff, I think, may just be Fandaniel. That he just doesn't care about. Thank you all for watching this video. Tonight's stream is the penultimate for Final Fantasy XIV story, MSQ, as of yet. We finished off 5.5, so the only thing we have left is 5.56, which is only 3 quests. But yeah, 5.5 was great. And it wasn't just 5.5. The last quest of 5.5 or 5.4, which introduced all the towers and everything like that. So tonight's stream was kind of focusing on the towers, which was cool. I'm not remembering all the details, but I think there was even some stuff there that was kind of like, whoa, like I didn't realize that because, like, I didn't realize the context of it because it had been so long since I had done the previous content before, where now I've done everything within like the last 2.5 months. So, it's just good. And of course, this is, as I've mentioned many times, this is now content that we don't have the answers to. It's all still speculation, and got to wait for Endwalker 4, which is cool. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So if you've had as much fun as I have, Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to come join me live in whatever post 14 shenanigans I'm up to, the link to my Twitch is in the description down below. Thank you again for watching, and have a good one.